If you're a medical practice owner and someone is pitching you a fully managed RPM program, you need to hear this before you sign anything. Because fully managed sounds amazing. They'll tell you that they'll handle enrollment, devices, monitoring, billing, compliance, and you just collect the checks. And on the surface, that sounds like leverage. But here's what most practices don't realize: fully managed often means fully dependent. And that's where risk starts. So, pitfall number one, you don't control the documentation. In managed care programs, documentation is everything: CPT compliance, time logs, interactive communication, device connectivity, medical necessity. And when a vendor handles it all, ask yourself, where is that documentation stored? Is it in your EHR or is it sitting inside their proprietary dashboard? Because when an audit hits, and eventually it will, the payer is not auditing your vendor, they're auditing you. And if you can't easily extract, organize, and defend every requirement tied to the CPT codes, well, you're exposed. And vendors don't sit in audit hearings, you do. So, pitfall number two, revenue share that eats your margin. Most fully managed RPM companies operate on a revenue share model. Sometimes it's a percentage basis, sometimes it's dollars per CPT code, but that revenue share ends up being 50 to 70% of the margins. It feels fine when you're starting out, but let's run the math. If you scale to 300 active patients and you're generating $100 to $140 per patient per month, that revenue share isn't a convenience fee anymore. It's a six-figure haircut. What started as we'll do it all for you turns into permanent margin compression. And now you're locked in. Pitfall number three, misaligned incentives. Your goal is clinical quality and compliant billing. Their goal is enrollment volume, and that's not the same thing. Some vendors push aggressive enrollment because they get paid per active patient. But if medical necessity isn't airtight, if your documentation isn't clean, if your staff doesn't actually understand what's being billed, well, you inherit the liability, not them. Pitfall number four, you don't actually learn the model. This is the one that nobody talks about. If everything is outsourced, then your team never develops competency. Your front desk doesn't understand eligibility. Your MAs don't understand escalation. Your billers don't understand time aggregation. And your providers don't understand compliance triggers. So if you ever want to bring things in-house, you're starting from zero. You didn't build an asset, you rented one. Pitfall number five, audit and recoupment risk. So here's the uncomfortable truth. In an RPM audit, payers don't care who touched the data. They care, was time medically necessary? Was it interactive? Was it documented properly? Was device data actually transmitted? Did it meet CMS guidelines? If your documentation isn't indexed, organized, and defensible, they are not going to read 50 pages of random notes. They'll mark it insufficient and they will move on. Recoupment is real, and most practices don't find out their exposure until it's too late. So, what's the alternative? I'm not saying that fully managed is always wrong. For some practices, it's a great starting point, but you need visibility into documentation and clear compliance, mapping, transparent financial modeling, internal education, and a defensible audit process. RPM should be an asset, not a dependency. At MPL, Med Profit Lab, we focus on helping practices understand the model. Whether you stay fully managed, hybrid, or build it internally, because once you understand the mechanics, you stop being sold and you start negotiating. If you're currently in a fully managed RPM contract or you're considering one, you should at least know what questions to ask before you sign. That's how you protect your margin. That's how you protect your license. And that's how you build something sustainable. So if you want help evaluating your current RPM structure or stress testing it for audit risk, click below. Let's look at it strategically, not emotionally, because RPM done right is incredibly powerful. Done wrong, it's just delayed risk.